Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for the start of our round 4 of our community series. We are here tonight at Brands Hatch, contrary to what is on screen at the moment. There we go, now we're at the Nurburgring. My name is Lenosis, and joining me in the commentary box this evening is, we have two people in the comms box tonight. We have Renegade and Carbon Boy. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing pretty good. Looking forward to seeing what these boys can do around here. It's a tricky little circuit. And being on soft tyres only, we know what the Nurburgring's like, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle their tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we don't have a specific track map for the community series tonight, but what we do have is the track map from our main series. It is, of course, the same circuit. It's going to be a 10-minute qualifying session followed by a mini enduro of sorts for the community series. We're used to the 2 times 20-minute sprints, but this tonight we'll be having one 40-minute sprint or enduro, I should say. It's, of course, 15 turns, 5.148 kilometers around the Nurburgring GP circuit. Soft tyres available for use tonight, and the tyre and fuel multipliers are a little different to what they say on the screen at the moment. They will be 2 times fuel and 2 times tyres. As per the community series settings that we've been running for the entire season so far. So what do you have to say about the track, Renegade?
Well, given that I did 2 hours of this track last week, I can say these boys are going to have fun if they haven't done any wet weather practice and rain happens to come along. As we know, the Nurburgring is known for wet weather. So that'll throw a huge spanner in the mix, and as I said a few minutes ago, we know what the graining's like around the Nurburgring, so it'll be interesting to see how these boys handle their soft tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they should get a bit of a break, as it is only 2 times tyres this evening. However, I imagine they should be stopping at least 1 time tonight. But we'll see how they go. I don't really have an idea on strategy for tonight. We'll just see how it goes, play it by ear, and yeah. So without further ado, I think we're just waiting for the last few drivers to enter the lobby before we get started tonight.
I can see 0 placements now entered the lobby.
Yeah, we were having some issues earlier trying to get all the drivers in the lobby, but we've had a quick host change, and yeah, we're ready to go tonight with the Community Series racing action. First Community Series that we've had in quite a while. Last one was back at Brands Hatch. I think it was 3 weeks ago now. So keen to have these guys back out on track in the awesome team liveries in the Megane Trophy.
Well, we've had 3 weeks to practice in, so they should be pretty spot on then.
Exactly, that's the hope. So what do you say we smash that big button and get started for our 10-minute qualifying session tonight?
Okay, that's up to Mr. Carbon Boy, who's just left the voice chat, left our comms box to jump in there. And here we go.
Here we go.
So who we got our eye on to do things in this lobby? I'm thinking Kaizan and Nico will be up the front there somewhere.
As the drivers make their way out onto track, Carbon Boy is the first at the moment, followed by Mr. Bumcrack. Well, actually, Carbon Boy is in the Kraken Esports car tonight, and we have Mr. Bumcrack in the Blacklight Motorsport car. Just behind is Griffo Tony, the first of our community drivers this evening. He is donning the Datsun colours tonight. 4th place is D. Nico in the Hooncourt colours, the team he does race for in the main game. Behind him, another community entry tonight in Panther Wagon, running the Ironheart SimSport car, I believe. New colours for the Ironheart team in the Community Series tonight. Looks quite good, must be said. Rainbow Socks just behind in the Doghouse car. He's got the window wipers flashing at the moment. Number 43 in that nice red Doghouse car. Super Fun Happy makes his way out on track tonight in the APR Motorsports car. Another one of our community drivers here tonight. He's got a bit of an optical illusion on his helmet there, if you have a look inside the cockpit. A bit trippy, that one. Just behind him, we have Kaizen out on track in the 666 Thunder Motorsports car. On one side, you've got the His Boy Elroy sponsorship, and on the other side, the Black Metal. Quite a good livery, that, and nice to see it back out on track for the Community Series. Just behind him, we have zero placement in the C-Piece Motorsports car. Number 47 out here tonight in spectacular form. Nice livery on that car, it must be said. As Carbon Boy rounds the final corner, he's about to start his first flying lap tonight. As all these drivers making their way around the final corner at the moment. So we're right on board with Mr. Bumcrack as he starts this flying lap down into the first turn. Steps on the brakes about that 100-meter board, gets it nice and slowed down over the apex using all the exit room, gets it back in for this long off camber turn 2. Down the hill now into turn 3, using all of the track limits on entry, and looks fairly smooth at the moment on the power, using all the exit. Can run wide on the exit there of turn 5 into turn 6. Or a little far from the apex, but nothing too crazy. Gets it turned in here, clips the apex nicely. All the curb on exit. As he heads down towards the hairpin.
See everyone giving each other plenty of room. Except we have got Nico sitting snugly behind Grippo.
Up the hill now with Bumcrack through the Schumacher S's. Perfectly fine, keeps that throttle pinned. As he's edging closer and closer to Carbon Boy. The top of the hill now, gets it turned in. Not as greedy on exit as I thought he would be. Gets it cut back in. On the throttle now, down the hill, onto the last stretch of the lap. As what Carbon Boy was calling last week, heartbreak corner. It's this chicane up here. This is going to make or break your lap. Stamps on the brake pedal around the 75-meter mark. Gets it turned in, looking very tidy through there. Gains a bunch of time on Carbon Boy as they head towards the final corner. Gets it turned in for the final time this lap. On the power, all the curb on exit. And what's it going to be for Bumcrack? It's a 2:04.8. Goes to the top of the times. It's a great lap. Dineco goes to second. So he looks to overtake Griffo into the first turn. As they pull side by side. As the next few laps come in, Rainbow Fox goes P5. Super Fun Happy pushed down to 7th. Kaizen to the top of the times by a 10th over Mr. Bumcrack there. It's a good lap for Kaizen. So we've just got one more driver still on a lap, and it is zero placement. Rounds the final corner. What's this first lap going to be? It's looking very tidy, actually. Oh, goes to 3rd. That's a good lap for zero placement. Puts himself onto the second row of the grid there. So things are fairly tight at the top, aren't they, Renegade?
They're looking at, I mean, what? Top 5, there's only half a second between 1st to 5th.
Yeah, absolutely. As Dineco and Griffo still arguing over tarmac at the moment as they approach the top half of the circuit through the Schumacher S's.
Nico seems to have gotten past him. He was sitting snugly in his slipstream a lap and a half ago.
Yeah, he was. Now,
Oh, we got a car pulled over on the side. That would be...
I believe it was Mr. Bumcrack.
Mr. Bumcrack.
Yes, we'll try and have a look on the JSM accounting action replay. See what happened here. Did he mess up his lap and just give way to the oncoming drivers? Gets it turned
moving out
in.
now.
As he just pulled over, so did he potentially have a bit of a hardware failure? That's the big question. Yeah, I think. Because it seemed like he was doing pretty well in his lap, and then, yeah, just kind of, it's been going really slow. Don't know what's going on with Mr. Bumcrack there, but the qualifying session continues.
Saving his tyres too.
Yeah, potentially just taking some of the heat out of it. Rainbow Sox improves his lap. 2-7. Nobody improving on that last lap in the top few drivers. Oh, zero placement actually. Oh no, he's still on a lap here, zero placement. As he rounds the final corner, is he able to pop himself up onto the front row of the grid? That's the big question. What's it going to be? He goes to second, splits Kaizen and Bumcrack. Just a tenth separating the top three at the moment.
Yeah. This is super close.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at ultra close at the top. Still half a second separating the top five at the moment before you drop back another 4 tenths to Carbon Boy there in 6th. Most of these guys are going to get another crack after this attempt. Actually, I think everyone is. It's at least another lap left for these guys. As Kaizen is purple. Going to ride on board with Kaizen as he heads through the Schumacher S's. Up the hill now. Can he increase his gap to the cars behind? That's the big question. Looking very tidy through here at the moment. Early on the throttle, he's going to have a mega run down to the hairpin. The chicane. Up by 3 tenths. This is looking like it's going to be an incredible lap for Kaizen. Into the braking zone now. What can he pull out of the bag? The 70-meter board. Gets it turned in. Oh, didn't look the tidiest, but I don't think he lost too much time because of it. Into the final corner. What can he do? Oh, massive snap oversteer. And he's spun the car. Oh, no. It's all gone wrong for Kaizen. And he's exited to the pits, which I think the stewards might have something to say about that.
Considering there was a car coming through as well.
Bumcrack is down on his time.
Zero comes around the final turn.
He looks like he's up as well. What's the lap going to be for him? Can he get into the 203s? Not quite, but he goes to the top by half a second. Wow. What a lap from zero placement.
I can just imagine what Kaizen will be like behind the wheel of that car right now.
Absolutely. Let's have a look on the JSM accounting action replay. Just what happened to Kaizen as he rounded the final corner. He had a huge snap of oversteer and the rear of the car, he just overcorrected onto the gravel, and once those two wheels were on the gravel, the rear end just shot out and found himself on that inside wall there. So
what have we got completing the lap? We've got Carbon Boy coming around to complete his last lap.
Followed by D Neko as well.
Up to Heartbreak Chicane. You might want to explain to them later, the viewers out there, how Heartbreak Chicane got its name.
Well, it is the point of the track where you either make or break your lap, especially in qualifying. It can all go wrong there, or you can set it up and get a brilliant
penalty.
Run. Carbon Boy
right to the end of your lap.
Oh, as Griffo improves, he takes P4 from D Nico. And next will be Rainbow Sox in the doghouse entry. Rounds the final corner.
like he's down on his last time.
Yeah, well and truly down this time.
Super
Next
fun,
will be
happy.
Super Fun Happy. As he does improve, but not in position. Next will be Panther Wagon. Doesn't improve. And Bumcrack comes home to finish the qualifying session.
The last driver. Comes around the last corner.
And he goes
and
quicker.
He goes quicker.
Oh my goodness, what a lap. A 2:03.993. That is insanity. Put 7 tenths on the field there. That is a mega lap by zero placement.
I bet he's glad we changed host now.
Yeah.
He was the one that was having the issues trying to get in. He will be saying, thank the racing gods.
So we just have to wait for the session to expire as Kaizen exited to the pits. So we have to wait the full duration for that to end. But in the meantime...
Oh, I think that's the one thing I had too long, when I did the settings. The end time for after qualifying and race. I think I had that set at like 2 minutes.
We'll just have a look at the YouTube chat at the moment. We have quite a number of familiar names. We have Rainbow Socks in the chat, The Stranger, Grovel. Thanks for coming out tonight, everybody, and supporting the Community Series stream. Make sure to whack your predictions down below as who you think will be the top 3 in the race. 40 minutes to come. It's a long way, especially in the Community Series format. So we'll see how things go. But for now, we will have a quick look at the results of that session. Here is how they will be shaping up in a moment's time. Zero Placement is on pole position with a 2:03.994. That is an insanely rapid lap. 7 tenths over Kaizen there in second place. We have Mr. Bumcrack third with Griffo Tony alongside. D Nico will be starting in 5th place with Carbon Boy in 6th alongside. Rainbow Socks there in 7th. Super Fun Happy there in 8th. It will be Panther Wagon starting from the rear of the grid tonight. So interesting to see how this order chops and changes throughout the race. Will be a long one, 40 minutes. It's essentially a full race length for these guys, and it's fitting as it is the Enduro round in the main game. So, yeah, not long to go before we get racing. What are your thoughts after that qualifying session, Renegade?
This is going to be a fast 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking 2:03.9 and like, what's that? A second between the top 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and then they're all in the 2:05s, the 2:07s after that. So it's going to be a hard race to pick, but I mean, I'd have to say Zero and Kaizen will definitely be up there with a strong shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
you can't go wrong with them after that qualifying session. At the top of the times, Zero Placement in a league of his own there. 7 tenths at the top of the field. That's just incredible pace in the qualifying session.
But I'd be lying if I wasn't rooting for my boy there in 5th place, one of my Hoon Corp teammates in the main game.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you say we get this session on a roll and get started with the 40-minute feature race here tonight in the Community Series?
All right, let's get the show on the road.
Here we go. Just waiting for the button to be smacked with the force of 100 men. Here we go. Yeah, so make sure to throw your predictions down below in the chat. Make sure to smack the like button as well if you have not already, as we're making our way out on track. The drivers lining up on the grid and waiting eagerly. So light sequence begins. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're out of racing here at the Nurburgring as they head down towards the first turn. Looks like Zero Placement gets off to a brilliant start, but Kaizen pulling closer and closer alongside. Will we see a contest at the first corner? Carbon Boy. Oh, they're all over the show. Look at this. They're 3-4 wide. Oh dear, it's almost went all wrong as Carbon Boy almost runs up the back of Kaizen, but Kaizen's run away with this here, and Zero Placement's dropped all the way down the order. Oh my goodness.
That's what I was just going to say. He's down into P7.
They're 3
got a
wide.
shocking start.
Look at this.
I wonder what happened to Zero to drop all the way down there. He's now back up to P6.
So Kaizen has 1.2 seconds at the top of the field there over Griffo Tony. So something's happened to Zero Placement there. We might have to have a check on the replay in a second. But for now, these guys starting to sort themselves out in their order. But not a good start for Zero Placement. Found himself way down the order at the start of this one.
Kaizen will be thinking Christmas just came early.
Yeah, absolutely. Up the hill now, running on board with Mr. Bumcrack. And he finds himself in a bit of no man's land on lap 1 of this race, which
I've
is
got a phone call,
quite
one
funny.
second.
And he's sitting 1.3 seconds ahead of Nico and almost a second behind Griffo Tony here. But still within slipstream range, so don't count out Mr. Bumcrack for a race win here tonight. Zero Placement gains another spot, gets ahead of Carbon Boy. Oh, cut that a bit close on the chicane there. That might come with an invoice there. Looks like he's gotten away with it for now, Zero Placement. Carbon Boy looking to come back at him here. Let's see what he does. He gets a good exit. Will he chuck a move down the inside at the first turn? No, looks like he's fairly happy to sit behind for now. Mr. Bumcrack edging closer to Griffo Tony, looks to the outside, tries to hang around the outside. Will he? Yes, he does! What a move from Mr. Bumcrack. Manages to go around the outside of Griffo Tony at turn 2 there. Incredible move by Mr. Bumcrack, it must be said. Oh, was Dineco running very wide at turn 4. As Zero Placement 1.5 seconds behind Dineco at the moment. As we'll have a look on the JSM Accounting Action Replay, just what happened to Zero Placement in the first few corners of that race, and it looked like he just got shuffled out wide, and yeah, he just couldn't put the throttle down on the exit of turn 2, and wow, yeah, just got shuffled out by 2-3 formation driving there. And yeah, not much you can do. Just got shuffled down the order and down into P7. But Kaizen extends his gap at the top of the order for now. 2.1 seconds clear. And Mr. Bumcrack there in P2. He's chasing Kaizen down, but Griffo Tony's lost another position there as well. Zeta under pressure from Zero Placement immediately here as well. Dineco up into the podium places, but he's going to have to worry about Zero Placement. He's looking to throw a move on Griffo Tony into the chicane.
He pulls him behind. Clever boy. Last thing he'd want is a penalty. Although he might cop one for clipping that little upright orange and white thing that was there, whatever they call it.
Looks like he got away with it. But he's looking for a move on Griffo Tony. He goes
very
defensive here. Zero Placement can't be too complacent with these moves. He needs to get it done. Oh, it was Griffo.
Probably a little tap there to say thanks for the squeeze.
Yeah, almost comes across too much on him and pushes Zero Placement onto the grass.
Or into the wall.
Very aggressive defense there from Griffo. But it must be said that Zero Placement, he can't be too complacent with these moves. He needs to get a wriggle on. Otherwise, Kaizen is just going to walk away with this one. He's already got a 6-second lead over Zero Placement at the moment. And Zero really cannot afford Kaizen to get too much further down the road. Will we see him move into the hairpin? Here comes Zero. He's tucked up right into the rear wing of Griffo. Does he throw it down the inside? He thinks about it. Oh, was there a little bit of contact there? Maybe.
I was wondering that the same thing, yeah.
Bit of Morse code on the bumper into the braking zone. Griffo Tony's definitely brought up the speed as he's 2 seconds up on his personal best on this lap. He wants to keep Zero
placement behind. With these two squabbling, that's allowed Nico to get like over a second gap on them as well. Build that bit of a gap on them.
Outside of slipstream range now, here's Danico. Oh, Zero placement runs a little bit wide, doesn't get the best of exits down towards the chicane. He's not going to be close enough to make a move. He's going to have to wait till the first turn, where we see a repeat of last lap.
Bumcrack slowly catching Kaizen.
Oh, Griffo makes a huge error, and that allows Zero placement to sweep around the outside, and he's going to be promoted up into P4. Yes, he is. But it's not over yet, as Griffo might have a go back at Zero placement. They're side by side almost, just about. Looks like Zero placement's got the run down to the first turn. Will we see a move from Griffo Tony? No, he backs out of it.
Looks like he's going to do the smart thing.
Nowhere near alongside that time, so he had to back out of that one. But now Zero can set his sights on the podium. You can see Danico, he's got 1.6 seconds ahead. He's going to be chasing him down 2:05 on the last lap. As Bumcrack sets the fastest lap on lap number 3 with a 2:04 flat. That is a rapid pace from Mr. Bumcrack. And he's starting to close up that gap to Kaizen. Bumcrack has his sights set on the race win here in the Community Series. Can he get it done?
I've noticed there are sections he closes up on him, and then there's also sections where Kaizen will slowly pull away. Like through the early stages of the lap, I noticed Kaizen gained a couple of tenths, but then towards the back end, Bumcrack is slowly pulling him back in. But it's just that gap is just growing at the moment.
Yeah, at this stage of the race, just got to keep buying your time and plugging along. So we'll see how they go. Danico, he's already bled 8 tenths to Zero placement, who's hot on his heels, just outside of slipstream range at the moment. But Zero, he is bringing Griffo Tony along with him. 8 tenths up on his time here is Zero, which isn't as fast as the guys up front. But you want to get a wriggle on, see what he can do in the back half of this race.
And Zero has closed that gap down to Danico, or got it down to 1.2.
Not the best run out of the chicane there for Zero, and that gap extends up to 1.3 seconds. We'll see if he can get a good run down to the first turn. No, he doesn't. Danico gets an awesome run. Look at that. Straight up to 1.4. And Zero placement down to the 2:04s on that last lap. Kaizen sets a 2:03.9, equaling the pole time on lap number 4 of this race, and extends that gap to Mr. Bumcrack.
If I believe correctly, it was actually just marginally quicker than the pole time. I believe the pole was a .988 or something.
Yeah, very rapid pace from Kaizen at the start of this race here. Can he keep it up? That's the big question. Zero placement still finding, struggling to find inroads into Danico here.
We know what he's capable of. The only one in qualifying too to actually break into the 2:03s.
Yeah, that's for sure. Griffo Tony, 5th place at the moment, but he's just tagging onto Zero placement slipstream at the moment, and plugging along for the ride as well. Carbon Boy's gone a little under the radar here as well. He is also within contention here of Griffo and Zero here. He is purple at the not purple, blue on his personal best lap time at the moment, Carbon Boy. Just behind him, had to build a little bit of a quiet race so far. Here's Rainbow Sox. He's 3 seconds off Carbon Boy and just out of touch of Super Fun Happy there in P8. And Panther Wagon, he's not out of it yet, but he is last place at the moment, just over 4 seconds behind the rest.
My boy Danico doing a good job on the podium on 3rd spot.
Yeah,
well done.
Absolutely. but I'm
Bring it
not
home for
too
home
sure.
court, boy.
Not sure how long that's going to last though, as zero placement. He's closed up that gap under a second now, and quite crucially, he is within slipstream range at the moment. So Danico is going to have a hard time trying to hold off from zero placement over the next couple of laps.
He's well and truly in.
Riding on board with zero placement.
8/10 of a second you need to be within slipstream range in Gran Turismo as well.
Yeah, it's strongest after about 8/10s, but you do start to feel an effect from about a second away. So, I mean, crucially, zero placement was within that zone at the moment. Oh, as he runs very wide, that might come with a penalty. That was very, very wide. Penalty's the last thing zero placement needs at the moment. Looks like he's got away without a penalty there. That was very wide. Over onto the AstroTurf there.
Didn't lose much time over it either too, probably half a tenth. And he goes personal best on that lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that sector I meant, sorry.
Well, on last lap it was his personal best at 2:04.2, and he's up by 2/10 now. So he's starting to match Kaisen's times up the front. Into the hairpin now. Gains so much time on Danico there as Danico opts for a late apex. Gets a massive run on the exit of the hairpin there. Zero's lost quite a chunk of time through that sector. Through the Schumacher S's. Up the hill now.
This is the closest battle we've got too between Danico and Zero on track.
Yep. This corner is crucial. You need an awesome exit if you want any chance of getting a chance at a move at the chicane. And it looks like Zero does get a good exit, but it looks like Danico's done enough to stay ahead at this point. Not under fire.
And Danico's up a personal best on that sector as well by 3/10. Oh, that could all come undone.
Bit wide of the apex there was Danico. That could leave him vulnerable into the first corner. Zero placement, even with the slipstream, not making many inroads. It's a brilliant exit from Danico. Into the first turn now for the 7th time. And now zero placement right up tucked under the rear wing of Danico. Is he able to get it done this lap? How long will he have to wait before he can have a crack at the podium? Oh, Zero! He's gone! He's off the track. It's all gone wrong for him there. And he's not lost as much time as I thought he would, but wow. Very
dropped
lucky
out
to
of
make that
slipstream
one.
range.
Yeah, very lucky to make it out of that one alive. So we'll have a look. Zero placement. What happened there on the JSM accounting action replay? Looked like he just lit up the rears through turn 4. And, oh, it just snapped on him. Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of lawn mowing over the inside there. But, yeah, keeps it pointing in a straight line. Great car control, it must be said, for zero placement.
Who's actually not using any traction control either. So that was insane car control. Well done, mate. Well done.
Escapes up the road a little bit now, and has a little bit of breathing room. A gap sitting at just under 9/10 at the moment.
Only 2 drivers in the field using traction control as well.
That's interesting because this car.
Very brave lads.
I mean, it doesn't need traction control. It does like a bit of slip. It likes to get sideways just to find the last few tenths on a lap, but I guess with a pit stop in the question, maybe some of these guys just considering using traction control just to keep the wear levels down.
Surprisingly enough, it's actually not making that much difference looking at the tyre wear between the drivers who are using traction to the ones that aren't. They've all pretty much used the exact same amount of wear on their tyres. And
okay.
fuel is looking the same as well. Everyone's pretty much used like just over, like when I say just, I mean like a bee's hair over a quarter of a tank so far. And we're what, 15 minutes into the race?
Yeah, okay. So you reckon these guys are going to have to do a pit stop, or what's
Possibly
the
for
verdict?
tyres. I'm looking at the fuel. I mean, we're almost halfway into the race and no one's anywhere near using half a tank of fuel already. So fuel, I don't believe fuel is going to be the issue in this race. I think it's going to be a tyre battle. Who's going to control their tyres the best? Like who's going to make that call and be the guinea pig, so to speak, and when are they going to pit first? Who's going to make that call first?
That's it. As this battle between D Nico and Zero Placement is still raging on, and Zero, he's made inroads onto the back of D Nico, and once again within striking distance, just under 4/10 the gap at the moment. But D Nico, he's not gonna make it easy. He gets really good exits, D Nico.
If anything, the two drivers that have used the most tyre wear and their front tyres, especially their front left from what I can see, is Kaizen and Bumcrack. They've used more of their front left tyre than the rest of the field have.
Yeah, okay.
As we near the halfway point, I mean, Bumcrack's tyres, the left front is the worst at almost 50%. As he goes wide.
Oh, a Zero Placement lines up a move into turn 3, and he gets it
and
done,
gets the
slides
job.
on by.
Oh, we got the cutback.
Oh, looking back for it. I don't think
Got a
this battle's
slightly better
over,
exit.
right? I don't think
this
Tinico
is
is
gonna.
giving this up just yet.
I believe he's one of our Category 1 drivers too, so he's not going to give this up without a fight.
No, absolutely not. Down into the hairpin now. Zero Placement, he doesn't want to look in the mirror any longer. He wants to set his sights for Mr. Bumcrack up in P2. As Kaizen has a whopping lead at the top of the field. 9 seconds the gap at the moment. It's going to be tough for Zero Placement to chase down, but can he make some sparks and make some inroads in this one? That's the big question. So approaching the halfway mark of this one.
You know what view I actually think is one of the best views, as like when you're spectating? It's like an in-car camera view just behind the driver, and every time a driver hits the rear view mirror to look behind them, you can tell, like you actually watch the driver's head look up in the mirror.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. How it's just a subtle detail in the game where...
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
Where a driver, they look back and they actually look at the mirror. Like, it's crazy. And then you can tell who's looking where, who's got their priorities where.
Like, it's... And you can, like, from this view, like, you can actually see the wheel work that these guys put in. Like, to me, it gives a better perspective of it.
Yeah, that's for sure. As Bumcrack, he's got just under 2 seconds to Zero Placement behind. That's who we're going to ride on board at the moment with. Zero Placement as he barrels down the road towards Mr. Bumcrack. He's gained half a second through that first sector alone. And he's on a personal best already. Zero Placement is on an absolute charge for this race win. He's got a monumental task ahead if he wants to go for the race win. But he does have it in him.
And we know how quick he is. The question is, will his tyre, how long will his tyres hold out for before they start to hit that cliff where they start dropping off?
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, Danico in Zero Placement's mirror. He's a little while off the back now. but Bumcrack, he's losing time. Up the hill now, under a second, zero placement, it is within slipstream range. Misses the apex a little there, but Mr. Bumcrack is all sorts of sideways, out of control a little.
His front tyre is the worst of all the drivers, unfortunately.
Now we are at the halfway mark of the race, so the big question is who stops and who goes around? Will it be a flag-to-flag race? That's the big question.
I have to say I'm glad to be sitting here in the comms box. I've seen the weather reports back home and he's wet and miserable.
It's Mr. Bumcrack.
Oh, Griffo's the first one to pull the pin.
Oh, he does.
Griffo enters pit lane. Just over the halfway point of the race. And there's, as you can see with how much fuel he's got, having 65% left, it's exactly what I was saying with, I don't believe it's going to be a fuel race, it's going to be a tyre race, and who can manage their tyres better than the next.
Yeah, that's for sure. Zero placement is all up under the rear wing of Mr. Bumcrack. Oh, as he opens it up, looks to the inside, and
goes through.
Get that done. That was a very opportunistic move. Notice Bumcrack was a little slow through the kink and just threw it down the inside. That's a great move from zero placement. So we'll catch that one on the JSM Accounting action replay. And just have
I wonder if his tyres had anything to do with that. He's realised he's made a mistake, and given how much less grip he's got on that front left, on a right-hand turn, he just didn't have the grip to keep zero behind him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as we can see now, he's pulled out to an almost 1.2 second lead over Bumcrack already.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The question is, if you're one of these two lead cars, when do you pull the pin? Kaizen's got a 10 plus second gap over second place right now.
So we just have a look down the field. Carbon Boy, he's just been plugging along there in P5 with Rainbow Sox in 6th. Those guys in a bit of no man's land. Super Fun Happy makes a call on pit stop here. Peels into the pits at with 17 minutes to go. Griffo, he's the only driver to have pitted so far, which was on the last lap, and he's going to go into 7th place at the moment. Panther Wagon is also going to follow him through as Super Fun Happy leaves the pits with quite a mission ahead of him. So, a smidge over 15 minutes to go. Do you reckon these guys are going to try and run what they're on till the end?
I mean, given that most of the field, as I said, apart from Bumcrack, getting close to 50% wear on all their tyres, I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of to try and do it from start to finish with see how you go with what tyres you got. I mean, 25 minutes into the race and they're pretty much just hitting the 50% wear mark, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these guys try the no stop, but given the fact that now Griffo and Super Fun Happy, I'd be looking at those two coming through the field on fresher rubber.
Things are sort of spread out a little bit at the moment. The closest battle, the closest two drivers on track at the moment are Bumcrack and Nico. for P3 and P4. This is the oh, Danico's in. He peels in on lap 12. Now, is he going to be able to peel back what he's spending in the pits out on track, or has he left it too late? That's the big question.
Just waiting for Nico to roll in. Here he comes into his pit box.
Now, where's he going to come out?
Fresh rubber
Looks
on.
like he's going to come out behind. Oh, he
Comes
gets
out.
a 3-second penalty as well. Oh,
on entry.
no.
That is going to put
the
him.
pit lines.
That would have happened on entry because he looked clean coming out.
Yeah, he got that penalty immediately as soon as he came out of the lane, so definitely on entry.
That is going to hurt him. He'll only drop down the one spot because Panther Wagon, quite a distance behind him. He's only coming through, what, turns 3 and 4, or turns 5 right now. Down into the first sector.
As I'd imagine Nico will drop behind Griffo Tony.
Trying to pull out a gap to counteract that 3 seconds to not lose much time. He's doing a good job of it because he's now out to a 2.5 second gap. So
The problem is where the penalty line is situated on the circuit. You lose a lot more than the 3 seconds. He's going to be well in
4.5 seconds all up, I believe, like including getting back up to speed. Now cleared his penalty.
Griffo flies on by. And he hasn't lost that much time, actually. I thought he was going to lose more. He's only a second behind Griffo. I thought that penalty was going to...
so 2.3, now 1.2 behind. So he's lost about 3.5 to 4 seconds. All up.
Yeah.
Although he is closing that gap back up, being on fresher rubber, but pitting a couple of laps later than Griffo.
Which that's interesting. I'm surprised that that pace difference is so drastic between the two of them. I thought that Griffo might have had enough tyres left to sort of stabilise that gap, but that doesn't seem to be the case. As Danico closing up that gap rapidly. Currently under 1 second, and we'll see how much time he gains through here. A huge chunk, 2/10 there.
Already, I was just thinking that, yeah. And his personal best sector going into that, not by much. Kaizen still sitting in first and with the fastest lap. It's still a huge... He's looked after his tyres quite well. Both rears and the right front are all at 50%. Front left at about 55% worn, so he might actually be going for a no stopper. He's definitely good on fuel. He's only just used just over half a tank. With 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes to go. And he's not holding back either. He's revving that little hard engine right out.
Is this battle for P6 at the moment? Griffo, oh, I saw Danico pull out for a second looking for a move. Couldn't quite
He's
get it
really
done.
closed that gap up.
Looking for a late apex here to get a brilliant run, and he does get that run as Griffo immediately defensive, but it's not going to matter as Danico flies on by. Is he going to have enough?
Two of them going into turn one. Who's going to have the bigger brass ones.
And Danico sweeps around the outside, takes that position up into P5. And now he's got 5 seconds ahead to Rainbow Sox. Will he be able to chase that down before the end of the race? He's got 10 minutes to go.
5 laps, pretty much.
Yes, things are really spaced out at the moment. There's no one really anywhere on track. Oh, has Griffo made a mistake somewhere? He's already dropped 1.5 seconds back.
Must have had a bad exit or something, or as I said, with Nico being on fresher rubber, I mean, there's not much difference, especially in the early stages. You wouldn't think there'd be such a difference already as Nico gets another personal best sector, up by almost a tenth.
Just riding on board with Panther Wagon at the moment. I haven't seen much of him this race or in qualifying, so just giving him a bit of screen time at the moment. Currently sitting P8, just ahead of Super Fun Happy as they head through the Schumacher S's. Just under 2 seconds separates those two. I believe Panther Wagon has stayed out, however Super Fun Happy, he has elected to take a pit stop. So it will be...
I expect Super Fun Happy to be all over him at some point during the next lap, and he quite easily make his way past. Zero calls. This is huge. He could be going for the fastest lap here too. Drops down to 4th spot.
Yeah,
Carbon Boy.
Call.
Oh, what's happened to Carbon Boy?
Oh, he's massively off the track.
He's lost it at turn 1.
Oh, something has gone very wrong for Carbon Boy there. As we will catch that on the JSM Accounting action replay. See just
Giro
what
will
happened
be
here.
licking his lips at that, especially coming out on fresh rubber, whereas Carbon Boy's on very used tyres.
What happened here for Carbon Boy? Oh! That is less than ideal. So he clipped the grass into the braking zone and then he just could not get it stopped. It ran sideways and he just it just slipped him off the track and he could not get it stopped. But what that now means is that Carbon Boy is under a lot of pressure from Rainbow Sox and D-Nico. Because D-Nico, he somehow gained 5 seconds on Rainbow Sox here. As he goes down the inside, D-Nico up into P5. Gets
well
that
done,
move
son.
done straight away.
Well, both Carbon Boy and Rainbow Sox are on very worn tyres, and Danico is on very much newer tyres, probably at most only 10% wear, whereas the other guys are 50 to 60% worn.
Yeah, absolutely.
As he goes, oh, will he make the move on Carbon Boy?
Yes, he does. Oh, they're side by side. Danico under brakes. Is he able to get that done? Yes, he does. Sweeps around the outside as Rainbow Sox runs very wide there. And that's going to leave him vulnerable to Griffo. Into the final turn. He's going to throw it down the inside. No, he isn't. Holds off for now. Oh, he does throw it down the inside. Wow, that was a very will I, won't I sort of move from Griffo. And then Rainbow Sox is going to get the switch back here. Oh no, he just settles down behind. As Super Fun Happy and Panther Wagon neck and neck on track at the moment. This is for last spot on the grid at the moment.
As I said, I expect Super Fun Happy to make small work of this lap. He's well and truly in slipstream range.
Yeah, these guys, even though it is for the lower positions on the grid, they still having a good old battle, good old scrap, which is what we like to see. A bit of fun racing, that's what the community series is about. Super Fun Happy, he closes that gap even closer than before.
Kaisen's now out to a 21-second lead. That is a huge gap.
as Panther Wagon under pressure now. 1/10 separates these two. So they round the kink. Oh, Panther Wagon runs wide. And Super Fun Happy is looking for a way past. Doesn't quite open up for now. But he might have the run down into the hairpin. Can he get it done? This gap ebbing and flowing.
I think he'll set him up for the that long straight with the kink in it. He's setting him up for that.
Super Fun not able to find inroads at the moment. He's stuck behind Panther Wagon.
Kind of like a Doppler effect. Super Fun Happy's helmet.
Yeah.
Like with all the black and white checkers.
Or a chessboard.
Yeah, whichever, yeah.
Three-dimensional
Or he's hoping
chess.
to finish, or it could be a checkered flag. He's hoping to...
Perhaps.
Very different, I'll say that.
Is this gap? It's going up, going down. I mean, these guys can't decide who's quicker over a lap.
Nico's now pulled out an almost 4-second gap over Carbon Boy.
Into the first turn for the 18th time. And it looks like Panther Wagon. He still holds on to P8 for now. Having a quick look back to Griffo Tony, who is making inroads towards Carbon Boy.
Boy's under
Can he get it
pressure.
done?
Under 7/10, 6/10. Well and truly in slipstream range. Where will he make the move?
4/10 the gap now, up the hill, 2/10. Superior grip on that Datsun car. Oh, as they bang doors.
Was there contact?
Oh, on the run up the hill through the Schumacher S's. Griffo Tony's
Griffo
still
is
looking
on.
for a way past.
He's on much better tyres.
Oh,
As he goes wide,
runs very deep
loses
there.
time there. Lost almost a second there.
A Super Fun Happy right up under the rear wing of Panther Wagon. 2/10 the gap, 3/10. Oh. These guys having an age-old scrap at the back of the pack.
Zero is on a charge going into the final, and he takes the fastest lap with a 2:03.198.
Wow, what a lap. A
That
Super
is
Fun Happy,
what-
he's got the run. He looks to the outside of Panther Wagon. Can he get it done? They're side by side into the braking zone. And it looks like Super Fun Happy runs deep. Oh no! And Panther Wagon gets back on by. Oh dear. As the
These
way
boys
it
aren't
is,
playing for keeps, are they?
no. As Bumcrack, he could be in danger of losing this second place here, a zero placement. 1.4 seconds on the clock. This is going to be the last lap for these guys. Kaizen is going to get another lap by the looks of
I
things.
believe Bumcrack and Zero where they are.
They're going to be right on the line.
They'll borderline. Oh, he's right under his wing now, 3/10.
This is for P2. As zero placement almost gets up alongside through the Schumacher S's. Zero placement, he's running out of time. They don't know if they're going to get another lap here.
Bumcrack, his
Shows the
front
nose.
tyre is screaming out to him. It's almost shot.
As zero
And
placement
Zero.
gets the position up into P2. Oh, as Bumcrack runs off the road, trying to keep up. And zero placement takes off into the distance. As Kaizen, he's going to get a look at B-lap. But will zero placement make it across the line? That's the big question. It's going to be tight. I don't know whether he's going to
10
get there
seconds to go. No, I don't think he's going to get there.
or not. No. So it will
Nope.
be zero placement. Who crosses the line first? Yeah, that's the last lap. He's going to cross the line. P2 for him. And it will be Mr. Bumcrack. P3. Great drive for Mr. Bumcrack. D-Nico, he's going to come home in P4. Great drive for him as well. Griffo Tony, he gets the better of Carbon Boy and slides up into 5th place. We'll take 5th for this evening's race with Carbon Boy in 6th. Will be Rainbow Socks in P7. And we have Panther Wagon and Super Fun Happy. It's not over yet. They've got one more corner to go. But I think Panther Wagon is going to hold on. It can all go wrong here. Last corner. Super Fun Happy gets it turned in. And they're neck and neck. Who's it going to be? I think Panther Wagon's going to hold on. And he does. P8 for Panther Wagon. P9 for Super Fun Happy. And now we get to have a look at Kaizen, as he is the only driver to make the 20th lap of this race. As the sun sets over the hill on the Nordschleifer, Kaizen, he's able to make his way round the back section of the circuit. He's just got the chicane to go. Brilliant drive from Kaizen today.
And to still have front tyre left more than any of the other drivers who didn't pit as well.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just driven spectacularly today. Got a little lucky with zero placement, getting caught up in the traffic at the start, but that hasn't stopped Kaizen. He made the most of his advantage, and he's going to come home to take P1 in the Community Series tonight. Great drive. What a race.
Well, what can we say?
Wow, that was not short of action, that's for sure. Yeah. As we'll have a look at the race results of that one in a moment's time. Here is how they finish after the 40-minute mini enduro of the Community Series. Kaizen finishes P1 with a lap ahead over zero placement there in second place. 203.198 for zero placement with the fastest lap. That is a stonking fastest lap. Third place is Mr. Bumcrack to complete the podium. We have Danico in 4th, Griffo 5th, Carbon Boy 6th, the Rainbow Sock 7th, Panther Wagon 8th, and Super Fun Happy completes the race tonight down in P9. Wow, I mean, thanks for everybody for showing up tonight. That was a spectacular race to watch. Nice and clean as well. I don't think we saw any incidents that would ever need to be reviewed by a steward. They were, I mean, that was just spectacular to watch. Great pace and brilliant racing action, nice and clean. It's what we love to see here in Sector 1. So great job to all the drivers out on track tonight. So who's your driver of the day tonight, Renegade?
I mean, first place was literally gifted to Kaizen from the start with zero placement getting caught up in the early drama and dropping all the way back to 7th. But I'd have to say I'm going to have to give my driver of the day to Zero, having that early incident, also stopping and then for new tyres and then to come back up and finish second. He drove spectacularly after that early incident. As I said, to do a pit stop and then still finish second on the grid.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give mine to zero placement as well. He got a little unlucky at the start, but he was just able to make his way up the grid through the field and then made a pit stop and came back at Mr. Bumcrack at the end there. Great stuff from zero placement. He gets my drive of the day there. Make sure to slap your drive of the days down below in the chat. We have 11 people in the chat at the moment. Just tell us who you think has driver of the day. Quite an interesting race. I mean, it's spread out for quite a while. But then there was still battles up and down the grid. So nothing short, no shortage of racing action, I should say.
Oh, absolutely.
Incredible Community Series action. That's what we love to see. That's what the Community Series is all about. Some great racing action. But if you're still with us, tomorrow night we will be back once again for the main game. We will be having our Division 3 Enduro later tomorrow night, which should be a lot of fun. I believe I'm on the stream once again. So, yeah, we'll have our Category 2A blokes out on track for some more Enduro action. So, looking forward to that. This should be a great stream. I mean, last week was a great stream as well, with some brilliant Div 4 Category 2B racing action. So, yeah, hopefully more of the same. But for now, anything else to say before we sign things off tonight, Renegade?
Not that I can think of, apart from the fact that, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to see how the Category 2A guys go. I know from my race last week, it's going to be a long race. There's so many different strategies that drivers can use. So as so many were seen during the 2B race in my race last week. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of calls they make, what they've been practicing.
Yeah, absolutely. So just in the chat, we have quite a few Drive of the Day votes coming in, and at the moment it seems pretty unanimous that 0 for Drive of the Day. We have Bumcrack, Slappers, and Rainbow Socks all saying Drive of the Day 0. Well, I guess Rainbow Socks said anyone who pitted, which 0 is one of them. So, yeah, I reckon that seals the deal. But yeah, make sure to come out for tomorrow night for the Enduro. Yeah, that's pretty much all from us for tonight. So thank you, Renegade, for hosting, and thank you to Carbon Boy if he wants to talk to us.
For co-hosting.
For emergency host.
Hello.
I'm happy.
Hello.
Hello.
And I'm happy to jump in comms if needed tomorrow night as well.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? You mean next week?
Oh, next week I meant, sorry.
I swear if the race is tomorrow, I have problems.
No, I'm thinking of another race that I'm in tomorrow as well. Yeah.
Right, cool.
I was thinking
No, that was a really good race tonight. I was kind of hoping to finish ahead of the two guys, Danico and Griffo, who pitted in front of me. Unfortunately, a lapse in concentration going into turn 1 meant I kind of missed my braking marker by a very long way and nearly.
We saw that.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was captured. Good. I like to think that was a pretty good salvage, all things considered.
All things considered, yeah.
But full credit to Griffo for that last lap overtake maneuver at the top of the Schumacher S's into that left-hander. Made me go defensive on the inside and then overtook me on the outside. Like, that was, like, full credit to him. That was brilliant. Like, you cannot be mad at someone who pulls a move like that.
Nah.
That was absolutely fantastic. So, Griffo, mate, hats off to you. That was brilliant.
And as we were saying earlier about Zero, like, how he got driver of the day, like, having that, well, getting pole position, having that early incident dropping down to 7th, and then even still with a pit stop, managing to finish 2nd.
And getting fastest lap as well.
Yeah, like 8
with a 2:03.1.
Was 8/10 quicker than his qualifying time, I believe.
I think a low fuel situation would have helped in there because he would have set that fastest lap after his pit stop. But even still, knocking on the door of a 2:02, that's scary pace. Anyway, I won't go talking too long.
I think he'll find himself a seat within a team in no time for next season with that sort of pace.
Possibly. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen, for being in the comments box tonight.
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Thank you, Lenosis. Always a pleasure, as well as you, Carbon Boy. And we'll catch up again in a few weeks' time, I guess, when I'm on hosting duties in the main game.
Yeah, no worries. So as Carbon Boy corrected, we aren't racing tomorrow. It is next week. So apologies to all those who got their hopes up about racing action tomorrow. Sorry, I'm wrong once again.
More like I'm wrong. I'm the one that, we won't go into that.
Anyways, we're gonna sign things off now. So thanks for coming out, everybody. And we'll
Yeah.
catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
Right. Bye. See, have a good night, guys.